Ever felt like you're missing something in a conversation? You hear the words, but the real message seems to be hiding just beneath the surface, leaving you confused and at a disadvantage? In a world increasingly dominated by digital interactions and AI-driven communication, what if you could decode the unspoken language that truly governs human behavior? What if you could see past the polite smiles and firm handshakes to understand what people are really thinking? Today, we're unlocking that power. Welcome back to DreamAIReview. In our hyper-connected AI-powered age, understanding the human element is more critical than ever. We rely on algorithms to predict trends and automate tasks, but when it comes to face-to-face negotiation, a team meeting, or even a first date, it's the subtle, analog cues that determine success or failure. That's why we read diving into a book that acts as a human instruction manual. Psychology, the Art of Decoding Behavior, unveils. This isn't just another psychology textbook filled with dense theories. It's a practical, strategic guide for anyone looking to master the art of social intelligence. It teaches you to see the invisible signals, understand the hidden motives, and navigate the complex web of human interaction with confidence and clarity. So, if you're ready to stop guessing and start knowing, stay tuned. The first, and perhaps most powerful idea from the book is decoding body language. We've all heard that most communication is nonverbal, but unveils takes this from a vague concept to a concrete science. It's not just about crossed arms or avoiding eye contact. The book dives deep into micro-expressions, fleeting facial movements that last less than a second but betray a person's true, unfiltered emotion. Imagine you're in a performance review. Your manager praises your work, but you notice a brief, almost imperceptible tightening of their lips. According to the book, this could be a micro-expression of anger or disapproval, a hidden sign that there's an unspoken issue. It's the gap between their words and their body's honest reaction that contains the real information. Similarly, a colleague might agree to a deadline while their foot is unconsciously tapping, a classic sign of impatience or a desire to escape. They are verbally committing, but their body is screaming, "I don't have time for this." This is where AI-based thinking comes in. Think of yourself as a human data processor. Your input isn't just words. It's posture, gestures, and facial tics. You are training your internal algorithm to spot anomalies, the moments when verbal and nonverbal data don't align. Your action step for the next week: become an observer. During one meeting or social conversation each day, turn off the urge to speak and simply watch. Don't focus on the words. Instead, observe one specific person. Notice their posture when they listen versus when they speak. Watch their hands. Do they gesture openly, or are their hands hidden or clenched? Look for those fleeting micro-expressions when a surprising topic comes up. You are not judging. You are simply collecting data. Log these observations in a notebook or a notes app, training your brain to see the patterns others miss. Next, let's explore the art of psychological insight, or as the book puts it, learning to read minds in everyday situations. This isn't about psychic powers. It's about understanding the fundamental psychological drivers that shape people's actions. Unveils explains that everyone operates based on a core set of needs: the need for significance, for security, for connection. When you can identify which need is driving someone's behavior, you gain a profound advantage. For example, you have a coworker who constantly talks over others in meetings and takes credit for group ideas. The surface-level reaction is frustration. But with psychological insight, you can look deeper. Are they malicious? Or are they driven by an intense, unmet need for significance? Perhaps they feel invisible in their role, and this is their clumsy, desperate attempt to be seen and valued. An AI would analyze this not as bad behavior, but as a predictable output based on a specific input, the insecurity variable. By understanding the underlying code, you can change your approach. Instead of confronting them aggressively, you might find an opportunity to publicly acknowledge one of their good ideas, feeding their need for significance, and in turn, neutralizing their disruptive behavior. This transforms you from a passive participant in social dynamics to an active architect. Your action step: pick one person in your professional or personal life whose behavior you find challenging. Instead of reacting emotionally, spend 5 minutes trying to decode their psychological driver. Ask yourself, what fundamental need might this behavior be trying to fulfill? Is it a need for control? For approval? For certainty? Write down 2 or 3 possibilities. This simple exercise shifts your perspective from judgment to analysis, giving you the clarity needed to respond strategically instead of emotionally. Once you can read the room, the next step is to shape it. This brings us to the third core idea, strategic communication. Turnells argues that the most successful people aren't just great speakers. They are masters at dismantling psychological barriers. The book presents a powerful concept, matching and mirroring. This isn't about mimicry. It's about subtly aligning your own body language, tone of voice, and even breathing rate with the person you're speaking to. This technique works on a subconscious level, signaling to the other person's primal brain, this person is like me, I can trust them. Imagine you're in a high-stakes negotiation. The other party is tense, speaking rapidly and leaning forward. If you respond by leaning back, speaking slowly, and appearing relaxed, you create a psychological disconnect. The gap between your energies becomes a barrier. Instead, the book advises you to subtly mirror their posture and match the tempo of their speech. As you build this subconscious rapport, you can then gradually slow your own pace if you've established a strong connection. You will find they naturally begin to mirror you. Back their breathing will slow, their posture will relax, and the tension will dissipate. You've effectively guided them from a state of conflict to one of cooperation without a single word of persuasion. This is a level of influence that AI is still trying to master the art of building genuine human connection. Your action step. In your next important conversation, whether it's with your boss, client, or a partner, focus on their vocal tonality. Don't think about what to say next. Just listen to how they are saying it. Are they speaking quickly and with high energy, or slowly and deliberately? For the first minute of your response, consciously try to match that tempo and volume. Feel the shift in rapport. You will be amazed at how much more receptive they become when you are literally and figuratively on their same wavelength. Finally, in a world full of noise, competition, and curated online personas, the book emphasizes a crucial survival skill: self-protection through deception, detection. This isn't about becoming paranoid. It's about becoming discerning. Turnells provides a framework for spotting the telltale signs of manipulation and dishonesty. One of the most fascinating concepts is the analysis of a person's baseline behavior. Before you can spot a lie, you need to know what their truth looks like. When people are comfortable in telling the truth, they have a normal pattern of blinking, gesturing, and speaking. This is their baseline. Deception, however, creates cognitive and emotional stress, which causes deviations from this baseline. For instance, a person who normally gestures with their hands while talking might suddenly hold them perfectly still when answering a difficult question. Or someone who usually makes direct eye contact might suddenly look up and to the right, a common, though not foolproof, indicator of a constructed, rather than recalled, memory. It's the change from the baseline that is the red flag. An AI system detects fraud by looking for anomalies in data patterns. You can apply the same logic to human interaction. By first establishing a baseline, you equip yourself with a personal lie detector, allowing you to protect yourself from being misled in negotiations, exploited in relationships, or duped by false promises. Your action step. The next time you're having a casual, low-stakes conversation with someone, like catching up with a friend about their weekend, pay attention to their baseline. Notice their normal blink rate, their typical hand gestures, and their speech patterns. Make a mental note. Then later, when a more serious topic comes up, watch for any sudden deviations from that established baseline. This isn't about accusation. It's about observation. You are training your anomaly detection skills in a safe environment. Let's see how this all comes together in a real-life scenario. Consider Sarah, a project manager at a tech startup. She was constantly struggling in meetings. Her brilliant ideas were often overlooked, and she felt her team wasn't truly on board despite their verbal agreements. Frustrated, she started applying the principles from the Art of Decoding Behavior. During her next project pitch, she didn't just present her data. She observed the room. She noticed the CTO, a key